This is Wurps and welcome back. There have been 4 updates to the V50 public beta for Lethal Company, adding a decent amount of stuff, and there's been a pretty major one here, so I'm going to go over that, the patch notes for it, and all the previous ones to kind of get up to date with the current state of the game. There's been some pretty big changes and some pretty funny ones as well, so we'll go over that. Thanks to Geo here for formulating the patch notes. You can see his little Discord thing there at the bottom right. I'll link his wiki he maintains and his new mod, the Imperium mod, that's crazy for testing stuff, so definitely check that out. So we'll start with the tulip snakes here. These are funny little guys. They are little jumping lizards that will attach to you if they land and will try to lift you up, which the little bestiary entry for them says it is to impress potential mates by lifting heavy objects. So you are the heavy object in question, and if they get enough of them on you, they can latch up to 5 at once. They can actually lift you, which is a little mini involuntary jetpack effect. So you'll have to steer to hopefully land somewhere that is less lethal than it can be, because if they drop you, you will take falling damage. So you'll have to navigate yourself on top of a hill or something. And there's another little danger they have, which I will show right after this. But if you want to get them off of you, you can swing a shovel or stab with the kitchen knife. You can flashbang them off. You can use the radar booster flash to get them off. So there are non-lethal ways to deal with these if you wish to keep them alive, but you always can just, you know, kind of stab them, which is unfortunate because they're cute, but they will also kill you, so you gotta make up your mind. So he added a pretty funny little way to die, and in case you don't want to see it, I know you're already here, so you might not care about spoilers, but in case you don't want to see it, I'll put a little timestamp on screen so you know where to skip to. So you're still here. He added a very Willy Wonka way to die. In the patch, he also added a little safety net for when players enter or exit the facility. These spike traps will pause for half a second, I assume to prevent cheap deaths or spawn camping. Now, I never really covered these or talked about them, but these traps have a 20% chance to spawn in detection mode and an 80% chance to spawn in interval mode, from an interval of about a second to up to 26 seconds delay between slams. So it'll slam by itself 80% of the time, and 10% of the time within that 80% of the time, the chance is it'll go up to 26 seconds if you're unlucky. Otherwise, it'll be around 10 seconds at max. So you could just sprint through it if it's in detection mode and you'll live. This can also attack other entities apparently, so that might be useful if you're being chased. And we've got the Jester follow timer, slightly lengthened, not by much though. The jetpack has received some changes, which I'll show in a clip right after this. The knife attack speed was decreased from 2.5 to 2. I'm not sure if this is just the swing speed itself, the delay between swings, or the delay between registered hits if you're spamming it, but this still might receive changes in the future, so I'll do more testing on that when it's finalized. The shotgun cell value has been decreased from 45 to 25, and the ammo value has been decreased from 30 to 15, so they don't want people to be quite so rich. The kitchen knife was also changed to a fixed amount. We have the butler health increasing from 3 to 8. That's a lot. They are supposed to die in 1 knife hit though, but there is apparently a bug preventing that from working, but it's intended, so we'll leave it at that. Falling out of bounds on a challenge moon will cause your player to die. Okay. The old bird now causes less screen shake when landing. Good. Not a fan of screen shake. Spike traps now spawn less frequently right next to entrances. Yeah, that's good. That's good. Spike traps now all have slightly different sound effects due to random pitching. That's nice. Keeps it, you know, a little bit of variety. Assurance, the maximum scrap amount has been decreased by a little bit, and they got spike traps. Wow. Vow has the maximum scrap amount increased a little bit. Spike traps on offense are maximum amount decreased from 18 to 4. As it, I mean, I already don't want to go on that map, but if it was 18, like, whoa, what? Spike trap average spawn amount decreased from 6 to 2. Average was 6. Adamant's maximum scrap decreased from 24 to 23. Spike trap max from 18 to 2. Yeah, 18's kind of high. Spike trap average amount from 5 to 1. Adamant's is supposed to be like the hard map now for starters, and offense it's still more. It's still average of 2, even though Adamant's is supposed to be harder than that map. That's interesting. The Rend map size multiplier has increased. Oh, and Adamant's did get quite nerfed. There's going to be more in the other patch notes for that. But yeah, it's not quite as oppressive as a value difference to the other maps anymore. Dine has become bigger, just like Rend. Titan has received a spike trap nerf. Jetpack fall damage bug was fixed. Nice. Matter map size bug was fixed. Good. Let's look at the new jetpack changes in action and then get to the next section of patch notes. Now, I like the old jetpack. It was zippy, it was fast, and you could hold it down and then jump for a nice satisfying takeoff. However, he has nerfed it. The acceleration is not what it used to be, as you can see. I'm just holding it, and it's not that fast. It's not that crazy, but that does mean it'll be easier to fly. So anyone who was too scared to fly a jetpack before, you should be able to do it pretty easily now. You don't even have to care about the little gauge like that mod I have that shows the jetpack meter. It's irrelevant now, seemingly, because even if I max the bar, it doesn't blow up. I've held this down for very, very long periods of time until it runs out of battery, and it hasn't blown up. You still got to not bump into things. But yeah, jetpack easier to fly, but a little weaker. Okay, here's the patch notes for what I'm calling version 50.3, which is before the one I just covered. And here he reduced the Baboon Hawk attack damage because it seems he wants to go more of a herd type enemy instead of like one-on-one enemy, which is understandable considering the changes he made to make them spawn in packs. The Butler health has been increased from 1 to 2 in single player, but they should be stabbable with a knife to instantly kill them as of the latest patch. Once he fixes the bug that's making that not work, the Butler's chance to stealthily stab you when you walk past has been massively increased. The Jester's follow timer has been set to 25 to 42 seconds in single player specifically. It is much faster in multiplayer, about half that time. The Old Bird mech's targeting now depends on target visibility. What this is saying is if you are crouched and not moving, he might not see you. You have to not be moving for, I think it's half a second, and you're crouched. You will be slightly less visible than this is required to see you. But we'll see if it works. Chance to start with the lights off increased from 8 to 15%. I really don't like that. The mansion map, especially, is terrible when it starts with the breaker off. Like that first room being dark, you just walk in, you're just like, that's not good. Anyway, spike traps now have a red light attached to them. That's nice. Bunny suit now makes a sound when jumping. Cute. Radmech spawn probability curve adjustments. Okay. And the Baboon Hawks also have adjustments to their curve. Not exactly shown, but I want to say they're down because they were pretty rampantly spawning before. Let's see. Experimentation had the trap amount increased from 2 to 3. Okay. Goodbye, new players. Can now spawn Easter eggs. Didn't know they couldn't. Offense, the average spike traps decreased from 9 to 6. And can now spawn the comedy and flask scrap items. Now, in the next patch, they nerfed the offense spike trap, so that one doesn't matter. Now we've got March, average spike traps from 6 to 4. I don't think they changed the March ones in the next patch, so 4 should be the current amount. The Titan scrap has been changed 24 to 28 minimum scrap. That's individual items. So that is still kind of dependent on the quality of loot average on the map. Like Titan has kind of questionable loot quality. Like you have the big bolts and stuff, while Rend has like crazy high loot quality, for example. So a 28 on Rend would be more valuable than a 28 on Titan. But it's, you know, it's what we've got for numbers. The maximum scrap from 28 to 31. So it's a little better. Average profit from 3.2k to 3.7k. Can now spawn spike traps, which is mentioned in the next patch notes. The Embryon map is kind of a troll map. I don't think anyone should ever go there. It's just everything is set to kill you horribly, and it has like no loot. So these changes mean nothing to me. Here is the 50.2 version, one before that. Here's where they actually add the spike trap and describing the rates at which it can spawn and slam down. So the Mask Hornet roaming speed decreased slightly. That is the Butler bees that are quite invincible and have tiny hands that can open doors for some reason, which is awful. The Butler has a bit of a rework done to him, adding a berserk state, because before you could kind of cheese the Butler by like hitting him and backing up, and then he would start putting his knife back away and try to take out his broom. But now they make it so he gets his knife out really fast when you hit him, which has been buffed even further in the patch after this. So now they are way more of a threat, and they also buffed their health. So butlers are very concerning now, and spike traps can inadvertently kill butlers. So we also have to consider the possibility of running into invincible butler bees without ever actually intentionally killing one. So that's pretty rough. The knife attack speed was changed, but it was changed in a further patch as well, so this change doesn't matter. They reworked the old bird a bit and nerfed his aim rotation speed, missile shot cooldown, missile cooldown refresh rate, bunch of stuff. The Titan change we can ignore because it was also changed in a later patch. And finally, here's the version 50.1 patch notes, the very first change. The Mask Hornets had a movement speed change. They were incredibly fast. Now they're less incredibly fast, although in the latest patch, they added ramping movement speed, so we'll see how that works out. The Bunker Spider received very minor movement speed increases at all three of its speed states, depending on its health. The Adamant's Bridge has its own trigger system. The Adamant scrap amount was nerfed from 28 to 44, which was insane, to 19 to 24, which is more reasonable. It has kind of above average loot quality for a free map, so it's still good, but it's less of a holy crap, this map is like super insane, there's no point going anywhere else type of thing. So it's good loot, but also seemingly pretty dangerous. The spawn rates for indoor entities were adjusted on Adamants and Dine. Ammo pricing here is irrelevant because it was changed to 15 in the latest patch, 50.4. And here's where they reduced the knife weight to 0, which I assume something he forgot to do, because 16 for a little knife seems kind of insane. The shovel weight was slightly buffed back to 14 pounds from 16, because he did nerf it from 8 to 16 in the initial release, which was very unfortunate. R.E.P. shovel. It's still good, but yeah, R.E.P. shovel. The Jester force field was fixed, which was a horrible, horrible bug. If you didn't know about that one, anything around the Jester was just invincible regarding shotgun shots. So if you tried to shoot something and a Jester was nearby, it just wouldn't die, and you'd be like, what the hell? But he fixed that, so that's good. And I never covered this, but the Dine outdoor map got very reworked. The fire exit is no longer in a very easy to access spot behind the ship. It's now like next to the main, forward and to the left. They added more mountains and hallway type traversals that lead to the main. So now you can potentially avoid enemies by going different ways. But yeah, it's different. We'll see how it goes. They also kind of nerfed the landmine and turret hell aspects of the map. We'll see if it's viable. Thanks for watching. Here's some other videos if you want to check them out.